While most eyes were on Chicago's Grant Park and President-elect Barack Obama, Washington insiders and power players across the country were closely monitoring events in Minnesota, Alaska, and Oregon. Well into the morning, long after the race for the White House had been decided, it was still unclear how much power Democrats would have in the Capitol. We knew they would control both chambers, but that 60-seat filibuster-proof majority in the Senate was still within reach. Early wins in North Carolina, where a relatively unknown Democrat named Kay Hagan defeated Elizabeth Dole, and in New Hampshire, where former Governor Jeanne Shaheen knocked off Republican John Sununu, had Democrats closing in on that magic number. But then a turn when Republican Mitch McConnell was able to hold on to his job in Kentucky. And out west in Oregon, incumbent Gordon Smith was able to hang tight with his Democratic challenger. Wednesday in Washington, Howard Dean talked about the big gains for Democrats and how they got there.
We invested in rebuilding our party from the ground up, from the states up. We reached out to people of faith. We invested in regions of the country that hadn't voted for Democrats for a long time.
The House Speaker also seemed satisfied.
Our increased numbers in the House better enable us to work closely with our new president for a vision for America and a plan to succeed, again, as we unify the American people.
Here's a look at the current balance of power in the Senate. Republicans are down to 40 seats, Democrats up to 56. That's with 4 more races that are still too close to call. In the House, Democrats control 254 seats and Republicans just 173. There are 8 races there that are still undecided. And one of the last races we'll find out about, also one of the most interesting. In Minnesota, where comedian Al Franken faced off against incumbent Norm Coleman. The AP called the race for Coleman, but has since pulled back, as it now appears headed for a recount. That recount could last into December. Rich Matthews, The Associated Press, Washington.